afternoon, depending on where you are, to the east or the west, where I'm in Brisbane, Australia, to take you through the 2024 Australia-New Zealand Matific Maths Olympiad. My name's Jared Tuffield, and it's my great pleasure to be your host to give you the essential information you'll need for our Maths Olympiad. First thing, very importantly, is how to register for the Olympiad, and in fact, whether you even need to register. So all students that already have a Matific account, be this through their school or a home subscription, whether it's a paid account or a current trial, do not need to register. Registration is automatic. If the school has or the student has a license and does not wish to participate in the Olympiad, that's fine. Basically, can just go about business as normal. On the other hand, we can look at the three different ways in which registrations are received. They can be by schools, in which case then the school is eligible for school prizes in addition to teacher and student prizes, provided there's a minimum of 50 students. And we set that minimum just to make it fair, because really it'd be quite easy with a small number of students to really win against a school with a much larger number of students when the results are averaged out. So at least 50 students. So if you're a teacher who's participating in the Olympiad with your class, that's fine. You can still have the students enjoy Matific and win potentially student prizes. But if you're looking to win the school prizes, you'd want to talk to some colleagues and encourage them to join you along in participation in the Olympiad. You'll see later when we go to the webpage that basically there's a picture like this, and underneath it you click on that register your school just there. So then the teacher and students can also be eligible for prizes. So there are prizes I'll go through soon, but again, you'll see that there's an option if you're just a teacher wanting to register your class, then you click on this button and you'll be able to get the information needed just to sign up your own class. So finally, if you're a parent wanting to sign up just one student, or perhaps there may be a case where a teacher wants to just sign up an individual student, then you've got the third option there. Now, normally a parent trial will only be 7 days, but you will be given access right through to the Olympiad period. So don't worry about that information. You will have access, even if you sign up tonight, through till at least the end of the 9th of August and the end of the Olympiad. So how's it all operate? What we've got here is a picture of one of the types of student interface that we have. It does look different for the younger ones, and we are developing further ones to make sure that the experience for the students is fresh and different at different ages. Whatever is the case, when the students log in, they create a little avatar character, and the external or extrinsic reward system that we operate, the students with Matific are always earning stars for activities, and those stars allow them to customize the look of their avatar and the avatar's flying ship. Now, in the Olympiad, this continues, but also the stars are contributing towards determining winners in the Olympiad. We lock the one area called training zone because in training zone, students self-select activities, and they can do so at their learning level at a lower or higher level. And of course, what we just don't want to have happen is that a child perhaps very capable of doing upper primary work decides that they will go in and just under-challenge themselves by doing very low primary work in order to make it easy for them to answer the questions correctly. But the other three areas do operate. And so basically, whether it's teachers or parents assigning activities to students, then that's in this area here. The Adventure Islands, where the students do a placement test. And if their learning level is also set by the teacher, which is the other way in which the activities can be driven in there, they'll be at their instructional level. And then finally, we've got the arena, which is the area where the students can play activities with others and have fun challenging others to a game. So in all those other three areas, the stars they earn, just as they normally do in Matific, are all contributing towards their chances of winning and earning various certificates within the Olympiad. So how do we determine which schools win? And when I say schools, because there's first, second, and third prize. So basically, the schools get a rank, and just to make it again a little bit fairer, allowing for the fact that some students may be away, may be ill, may not greatly participate, we actually only end up taking the top 70% of the students. And that's the target, 70% of the school's target. Now, the target itself is the number of students by 150 stars, because 150 stars is the most every student can earn in the Olympiad. That's basically a star equaling a correct answer to a question. Now, that could be through doing 150 questions with no mistakes, or it could be that they actually do 300, answer 300 questions, only getting half of them right, but they can accumulate up to 150 stars. So what happens then if we get a tie in a school? We'll use the accuracy to do the tie breaking. So if two schools, every student gets 150 stars, that'd be, I suppose, when I say every student, there's 70% of their students get 150 stars. Then we'll look and say one school may have got there perfectly with no mistakes, and the other school had students who made some mistakes along the way. So the school with no mistakes or fewer mistakes will be the ultimate winner. And last year, it was just a small aspect of accuracy that separated the winning school from New Zealand from the second place school here in Brisbane, Australia. So what will happen then is the first place school will receive a $1,500 cash prize to spend on valuable resources, I'm sure, needed in the school. $1,000 to the second place, and third to place will receive $500. And in each case, there'll be a trophy that is delivered, marking the fact that they were the gold, silver, or bronze winners of the school level of the Olympiad. We'll also look at the classes which were the most active and achieved the most stars with the fewest errors. And those top three teachers, thanks to our great sponsor, Oxford University Press, they will receive a collection of teacher reference titles with maths activities they can use with their students in the school. And that's valued at over $300. And then onto the students themselves. So basically, the students will reach different categories as they earn more stars. So they'll work their way from bronze potentially up to the ruby. And again, when they get a certificate, this will be reflected at which level they achieved. The higher the category they're in, the more entries they will get in the draw for the prizes. So there is a random aspect, a chance aspect in the end as to who will win the prizes for students. But of course, a student who achieves 150 stars, getting 25 entries, has got 25 times the chance of someone who only does between 1 and 74 activities, who will only have 1 entry in the draw. That in itself could be an interesting maths discussion with students of certain ages as to looking at the probability of winning and saying, well, it's not impossible for a bronze person to win, but it's much more likely that a ruby person will. As for the student prizes, all students receive a certificate and they get the chance through those categories they're in, 1 to 25 different chances, you could argue, of being drawn out to win one of 3 Apple vouchers valued at $500 that they can then spend on the App Store, buying apps or to buy Apple merchandise accordingly as they so choose. And again, thanks to our great sponsors, Oxford University Press, they will receive a $150 Oxford University Press digital voucher to spend on the various offerings they have on their online shop as well. So giving you some tips of how to have a successful Olympiad, in particular to increase the students' chances and the school's chances of winning. As mentioned before, in all but the first year of Matific, the students are asked to do a placement test in the Adventure Island area. Their performance on that test will determine whether they should be doing activities at their year level or 1 or 2 year levels lower. A teacher can manually adjust the level either down or up if they feel that that is suitable for a particular student. So one of the lovely things about our Olympiad is that it's really a competition for all, because all students are participating at their personal level rather than it just being for the extension students and being asked the very high level questions that they might be asked in a test assigned that way. If that's what the student's capable of, that's what they should be doing. But if they also have a need for learning support and different level of achievement, then they should be operating within the competition at their level. Sorry. Let's get the next point up. Okay, so as I mentioned, if the teacher chooses to, they could manually adjust the learning levels. Again, so we're relying on teachers being ethical people there to say that they will have the learning level set to what is fair for that child and to give that child the chance of success at their level, their what we call the proximal zone of development for that child, where they're operating where they can achieve with some support, but certainly not something that's too difficult or too easy for them. But that's why we lock the training zone, because we don't want the students themselves perhaps being tempted to go in and choose activities at too easy a level. So again, within Matific, teachers can group their students very easily. And then when they find and assign activities, they have the option to assign activities differently to the class, to groups, and to individuals. So we want to encourage that differentiation. And basically, again, within the competition, when the teacher is assigning activities, then it is fair enough for you to decide that you will assign different activities to different students so that they have the opportunity to achieve at their level in a very equitable way of operating the competition. So in the week of August 5 to 9, when the Olympiad's running, we encourage teachers to give the students extra class time on Matific. Again, if it's 5 stars, typically that can be earned in an activity, and you're looking to achieve 150 stars, that's going to equate to 30 activities, way more than what the students would normally do in a week. So if they're going to do that, they're going to need extra time either at school or at home. So again, perhaps teachers might set Matific for homework that week with no other homework. And again, as per parents' discretion, allowing the students to have extra time on their devices at home to complete activities and earn those stars. There are resources for schools on the website that you can download to help promote the Olympiad. So posters you can put up, letters you can send home, and brochures and so on. So again, look for that section of the website that we're coming to in a moment. And just some preparation for the Olympiad. If students are using an iPad, Google tablet, and doing Matific on the phone, a mobile phone, in all these cases, they must install the Matific student app. So go to either the Google store or the iPad iTunes store and look for that icon. I just brought it up on the screen with the cute little character, and that is the free app to download. So they use the same login details, whether they're going through a browser on a computer, desktop, or laptop, or through a mobile device. But whereas they use a browser on the computers, they use the app on an iPad or tablet. Okay, so then the winners, first, second, and third place winners of the schools, and then of course the individual winners as well, they'll be notified on August 16th, so a week after the Olympiad, and that'll be done through our website and email communication. So as said, we will take the list of the attendees from tonight's session who attended it live, and then we will do a put them into a random picker and pick a winner out to notify tomorrow when the communication comes out with the recording, so you can revisit what we've covered tonight as well as share it with other people, and see if you are the lucky winner of that gift card, which I'll arrange to get to you. So there's the QR code on the screen that if you don't want to go searching for the website, and in particular for the Olympiad information, I'll put that up for the moment to allow you time to scan. And time is up, but I will just have a look and see if there's any other questions in the chat, if anyone wants to put one in there right now. And then, of course, I'll just move that over from the QR code, but you've also got the link there in the chat too. A couple here in the Q&A perhaps. If I register my child as a parent, can I adjust the levels, etc.? So with the parent account, there is a parent zone. So you can go in and have a look at the parent zone and just see what you can adjust there and set for your child. Grade 1 is allowed. So Matific goes from foundation of the Australian curriculum, or what's called various things around Australia, prep, pre-primary, kindergarten, all depends what state you're in, up to Australian now year 9. And in New Zealand, it goes from year 1 New Zealand up to year 10. So everyone's allowed. And I said that grade 1 child could be operating at grade 1 level, or it might be that they're operating at foundation level. It's whatever is suitable for your child in terms of their best learning. So it's all allowed. And I suppose with that last one there about a professional Olympiad teacher, if you wanted to make contact with us, we can look into that further, particularly Rita, who's on the call, who is part of our marketing team. Might be more. So just confirming, 50 or more needed to register for school. So for the school prizes, that is correct. Right? So the students would still be in the draw for the student prizes, but for the school to win, yes, you are looking at a minimum of 50. And you don't have to register through the school only, because you'll find if you're talking about your parent wanting to register for your child, there is an option there to click and link and say you're a parent who's wanting to register just their own child. And it said normally it would say you'd only get a 7-day trial before you can look at whether you're going to subscribe or not, but you will get access through until after the Olympiad. Will this help children solve selected problems? As we were told, that the selected questions were mostly from the math. So all the questions in the Olympiad are from the activities that the students would regularly do within Matific. So Matific provides a bank of questions. Normally 5 then are chosen in an activity from a bank of questions, and that's a random selection. If they do, the kids do the activity again, they get different questions, but on the same sort of topic of the same nature. So certainly in the lead up to the Olympiad, the students could be going in and attempting activities and practicing them, and then in the week of the Olympiad, come back and attempt them again. So that when they do them during the week of the Olympiad, they're more likely to get a perfect score that perhaps they didn't get the week before. So, that's worth a good tip for practicing. And if you go to the bottom of the Matific website, then you'll find that the numbers there are recorded for the Matific head office in Sydney, Australia, which is the global office. Matific is in hundreds of countries now around the world, and you also know it's translated, you may not know, it's translated into over 40 languages. So you can change Matific to be, including Te Reo Māori, so you can put the activities into a different language if that's suitable for your students. Okay, so I did mention it goes up to year 9. Matific goes up to year 9. You can search by topics for content currently up to year 9, Australia, year 10, New Zealand. You can't search by curriculum because we haven't finished the alignment yet. We're still doing a lot of work in the high school, lower high school space over this coming semester. The competition's really for primary school students, unless again, it was a high school student who's operating at a lower level. We have lots of schools I was at one yesterday that uses Matific in its high school, but just for a subgroup of students who are operating at primary level and are using it for learning support. So just as it might be appropriate for a year 6 child to do year 4 work in the Olympiad, if that's their operating level, then that could be the case for a year 9 student. But as per doing the work at level in year 9, at the moment, that wouldn't be appropriate, but next year we possibly will have the Olympiad going across primary and secondary. As for how much it costs after trial periods, well, depends on whether you're talking home subscriptions or school subscriptions. That information is available on the website when you go through the teacher information. I don't directly deal with home subscriptions. I'm dealing with schools. But to give you a ballpark figure, you can do things monthly, you can do them manually. I think you're talking about $90 a year for a home subscription, whereas a school subscription is $20 or less per student, depending on the number of students and the time period of the agreement. So it's certainly worth talking, as parents, talking to your school if you're really impressed with Matific, about have they considered getting a school subscription. Yes, the kids will get certificates that they will be able to download from their login. So there'll be special certificates set up in their account that they can download and log in. So make sure that you get those within the period that they're available. So we talked about the costs. Okay, so it's possible your child may be in a school, if this one that only has Matific in certain grades, because schools don't have to subscribe for all year levels. Most schools, if they use Matific, choose to use it across the school, but they certainly have the right to say they only want to use it in certain levels, or it may be a certain teacher who particularly likes it and is the first one to discover it before it goes across the whole school. So if your school has a child, your child's school has a subscription, you've got two options. You can encourage other teachers in the school, particularly your child's teacher, to just join for the Olympiad period at no cost. And so they'd have access for basically the month of August for the school. Or you can, as a parent, just enroll your own child. Well, I hope anyone who needed to hop off early did so, because that's now gone about 50% overtime into your evening or afternoon. But do thank you for joining us, and do check out the website, either through the link here or the QR code. And as I said, there's plenty of information there, Q&As and so on. It gets fairly detailed, but just to summarize, it's really about, in the week of the 5th to the 9th, participation, getting students engaged, having fun with maths, and saying to them, do as many activities as you can, getting as many answers correct as you can. And I suppose the last thing I should say, particularly with the schools, they can go in and check the leaderboard and see if their school is one of the top schools. It's a live leaderboard each day, and then that might encourage them to, as it's done in the past for schools who are near the top, to put in an extra effort to just get across the line. So thank you all very much, and I wish you a good evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Hi, Jared. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Jared. I have a question actually. Can I ask you if it's okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So my kid is in grade 1, and I checked with the school, and they say it starts from grade 4. But I really wanted her to go into the Olympiad thing. So can I enroll? Can I open a parent account and tie it up with the school account and take the Olympiad, or do I need to create a very different parent account for this?
So if I understand, I just couldn't hear quite well, but I think you're saying the school only says it's for grade 4, and that may be the only part of the school where the school's actively using Matific. But you could approach your child's teacher and say, would they like to actually enroll the class to be part of the competition? And then if the teacher thinks that that would be something they'd like to do, then they could add their class for the period of the Olympiad. But if the teacher doesn't want to do that, or you'd rather not approach them, then I would, I'll just see. So that's the website there. I would just, if I was you, go here to register your child. They said, don't worry about the fact that it's saying only a 7-day trial. You will get longer, and go through the process here of signing up your child, and then they will be able to access Matific, participate in the Olympiad, get the certificates, and be in the draw for the student prizes.
So when you say I have to sign up, I have to sign up as a new user again for my kid, not the school registered account.
Your child doesn't have one at the moment, or do they have a
Yes,
Matific account and they're saying just the Olympiads for the year 4s and up?
she has one account, but the school account, it's the school account.
Okay, now that's right. If she has an account from Matific at her school, then she's automatically included in the Olympiad. Now, a teacher can choose to totally ignore that the Olympiad's going on, but if your child, or even if the class or the school happened to earn the stars that meant they were the winners, they would actually win even without trying. But generally, because you're having to do so many more activities to earn those, 150 stars in that week, it'll be a school that is really proactively trying to participate in the Olympiad. So if your child has an account already, that's fine. Just tell your child during that week, do all the activities they can, whether it's the ones their teacher gives them, ones you give them, ones they do in Adventure Island or Arena, and they get their 150 stars, they will get the Ruby certificate, and they will get the 25 entries.
Okay, so I basically have to do nothing. I just have to make sure she is just doing the Arena Adventure Island, because the training zone will be locked out.
Yep, that's right. Everywhere but training zone. Basically, it's just use Matific as you would normally, except on steroids. That for that week, explain to about saying we're trying to get 150 stars, and that's going to mean getting basically 150 questions correct over the week, whether you get them all right the first time or you get some wrong and you have to do some more. If you want to let me know, or whether you say it now or email, you can let us know your child's school if you think there's communication problem there, and we can just explain to them directly so they understand how the Olympiad works. Because they, being so busy, may not realize that they are participating, or they can participate in it without any sort of particular need to register.
Yeah, because I talked to the class teacher and she specifically mentioned that they're doing from grade 4 onwards. But then I said, why not grade 1? So I was not sure if grade 1 was allowed or not in the Matific Olympiad. That's the reason I joined the webinar, to know that it's for grade 1 or not. Thank you so much. I think
Yeah.
after talking to you, I understand that she is allowed for the Olympiad, and she's automatically she's automatically enrolled, and she can do the adventure and the arena except the training zone, and automatically the points will get calculated.
Just
Where
not
I
the
can
training
see
zone
the
that
letter
week. It'll be locked anyway. So if she goes to it, it won't allow her in it. So just do activities in any of the open areas, and she's participating in it. Yeah.
So do we have any time slot for each day?
Jerry, do we have what?
Any time, specific time that we need to do, or it's open for 24 hours?
It's open 24 hours. It's basically you're going from sort of, not that you'd want her doing that, but from midnight on the 5th to midnight on So you can do it in whatever time suits, and in blocks of whatever time. It doesn't have to. It's very flexible.
Jared, just a last question to check with you. If she is not going through the school level, so how you're going to evaluate this kind of kid who is going individually? So are we going to mark her individually, or are you going to inform to the school about it, or how is the process of evaluation will happen in this case?
Yeah. Well, if others in the school will be doing activities that week, so there'll be data available for the whole school, but her information, your daughter's information, will be available for her, and even through her own account, you'll be able to see how she's going. So even if the school is not, if the school doesn't show any interest in the Olympiad and the results and so on, you'll still be able to look at the results for your own daughter.
Where I can see, is it in the dashboard somewhere?
Yep, that's right. So you can go in through your parent zone and look at the reports that are available to you there.
Oh, I do have to create a parent's account then.
Yeah, if you don't have a parent account, so just when you're just see. Yes. So when your child is logged in, you've got two options when Matific is used at a school. Either the schools can invite parents to be linked to their child, or the parent can link themselves. So once this demonstration student account loads, I'll just show you where you need to go to.
Yes.
So just have your child logged in, click on the little picture there icon, and there it's got add parent. Right? And then click there and just fill in the details that are required there. And then you'll have your access where you'll be able to come in and see how your child's progressing. So enter your email address, continue.
Okay, so I have to click on the icon and it says add parent there itself.
So
I can't see the screen actually if you're.
Oh, can't you see? Sorry, I forgot we're not showing anymore.
I'm seeing you.
Okay, hold on. Everyone go Zoom. What is that? Is it still active? Yeah, that's what we want. Share.
Yep, I can see.
So on your child will have the island face with the blue water and so on. But basically just click on the little icon in the top right corner, which is their avatar picture, and there's on the plus symbol, add parent. And then it'll ask you to put in your email address, and then you'll be able to be linked to your child's account then. And then not just for the Olympiad, but you'll be able to go in anytime and see how they're progressing. I'll check to have got another hand raised there. So you're still there? Usma, you still there? Usma Fatima?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right, so do you have a question?
No, it's all good. Now I think I'm all clear. So I'll try to create a parent account in the school account itself to see the dashboard.
Yeah.
And so so the last question is, are you going to evaluate still on the school basis, right? So the kid will be competing against the school, different schools, right?
I mean, really, it's a competition in the sense where they're competing against themselves, because they're operating at their level to see if they can get the questions right that are the right ones for them. So it's less about them, in a sense, competing against other students or other children, other than if they do their work well and they'll get the stars for it, then that increases, their chances of being drawn out to win the prizes. They'll also get the certificate to show that they did well, getting 150 stars, and their school stands to win. If that's where there's competition in schools, if the schools have all their students get 150 stars, and they do so with fewer errors than other schools, then they're the ones who will win the prizes.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so
All right.
much. Thank you so much for clearing my doubt after the time, actually. Appreciate it.
Okay, I've got to get to another online meeting soon. So thank you and all the best. Hope they enjoy the Olympiad and Matific in general. Which I'm pretty sure they do.
Thank you.
Kids tend
Thank
to.
you so much.
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thanks.